Howdy folks, Billie Jean with Thank God It's RC. Today we are wearing our outdoor spectacles so we can see in the bright. We are laying down some paint on our final quest for the ultimate titanium paint job on the TRC titanium rock crawler. So we're outside, we're spraying down some paint, and we're going to see what happens. In the meantime, we're also going to be doing some more assembly on the mystery machine crawler. We received a few parts, so we're going to get those on there, and we got some drive shafts and the upper suspension links that we had ordered, the shorter ones for the rear. So let's get the camera turned around and get those installed. Okay, we have our drive shafts, we have our rod ends, and the other rod ends are attached to the back of the crawler here. So we're going to put this end on first over here, because we can do that off the vehicle, make it easier. Okay. Now we'll measure them to make sure they're the same, which they are. Now we can install them. Okay, I'm gonna go so in this instance we're gonna go in the second hole from the last over here, and that'll put our drive shaft pinion in line with the transmission. So we will match that on the other side. Alright, so now we have our suspension links and suspension all in. Check for no binding. There isn't any. Check flex. Good. Front. Good. Droop. Good. Alright, so let's check our drive shafts. Our front one. These are from RC Revolution. The little screws that go in them. Alright, we got drive shafts installed. Did that off camera, especially the front one was a pain in the butt because of how short it is. I ended up having to let loose one of these links so I could pull this forward a little bit so that I could get the shaft on there. The drive shaft itself ended up being just a hair long, so I ended up kicking the transmission up at an angle a little bit so that the shocks would rest completely down. They were sticking up like, I don't know, like that beforehand. So now they completely compress, which is fine. There's still plenty of space there. The angle is good enough. There's no noise or chatter. The rear link is in there. There's no noise or chatter, nothing from that. So those are all installed and we're good to go. So we now have our sliding chassis. Everything's all together. We're gonna go check on our paint.
10 minutes later.
Okay, back again. We put down a second layer of holographic flake. Now let's see how the body looks on here. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I'm going to be having to do some cutting up this way around the fender, do some trimming up this way around the fender, and we're going to make it follow the contours of the chassis and open up around where the tires go. But I think it's going to look pretty good. So I'm going to redesign the piece in the rear. It's going to be a little bit wider on top and reach back with a magnet plate on the rear so it can magnet on the backside here. Or depending on how I cut the back end, I might make it so that it hinges on the back. I actually like that idea better. So that it'll hinge open like this and then magnets on the front. So this front section here, I'm gonna have to create a extension out this way for the magnets to be angled down more towards the front, kind of on angle with the hood of the van here, and that's where the magnets are gonna be. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get from here the magnets out here. I might create a like an extension bar that will attach to the top there and to this center hole from like this hole here and attach here kind of forward, and then have the magnet mount facing forward. I think that'll be the simplest and cleanest solution for the front. And then we'll make a special hinge mount for the rear for the van body. I just gotta wait till I cut the body up to its final cut so I can start measuring where it's going to be. But I think that's how we're going to do it, and it's going to be pretty good. Going to end up trimming this piece off here, maybe trimming out some of this headlights. I don't know what I'm going to do, and we'll figure it out. I got to see how the wheels react with the tires and wheels on there. See how it all reacts with the clearance and spacing, and then we'll try and get this on. By the way, this is a 1/18 scale Tamiya lunchbox body, in case anybody was wondering. Just on a side note, I've been working on an idea. I've got this old LCG chassis for a SCX 24. I think I can do better. I want to create a similar chassis to the lamb chop, but we'll call this one the chicken leg because it looks more like a chicken leg. I'm always hungry. That's why I name my chassis after food. So yeah, we're going to call this one the chicken leg, and it's going to be a 1/24 scale LCG crawler. Very similar to the lamb chop chassis, but for SCX 24 size. So that's in development. It's on paper right now, so I gotta jump on CAD and get some measurements off of this guy here for, you know, skid plate locations or hole locations and things like that. So I got a little bit of work to do there to get that project underway. But so here, coming up in the near future, we're going to be building a chicken leg chassis. Be on the lookout for that if you're interested in the 1/24 high clearance LCG.
One hour later.
Well, folks, I do believe we have a wiener. Here's my watch band. 1 hour later. Well, folks, I do believe we have a wiener. Here's my watch band. 1 hour later. Well, folks, I do believe we have a wiener. Here's my watch band. 1 hour later. Well, folks, I do believe we have a wiener. Here's my watch band. here is the color changing paint. It goes from like blue to pink. There's a gold in there somewhere. This would be like the windows of the truck, so the windows won't get paint. And there's gonna be this peeled off behind here a little bit. It's supposed to have flake like that behind there. It's just kind of a test, but so I gotta wait for this to dry next time longer before I put the characters behind here to mask it off, or use something that's less sticky to mask off some lettering to show through in the silver. So this is 2 layers of holographic flake, 3 layers of color, which I will reveal to you in the end video after painting the TRC body, and 2 layers of Nardo gray backing, and a layer of chrome in this section here, which that peeled up on me, so gotta make sure that doesn't happen next time. But there we go, titanium paint job, as close as I'm gonna get it to my watch band. So I'm sure when it's out in the sun it'll sparkle even more. So y'all just have to wait and see for the final paint job, because it's gonna have all kinds of artwork and everything in it. It's gonna be super cool. So I'm super excited. I'm happy that this finally turned out. It's been frustrating me for over a week now, and I got it.